Okay, guys, just going to recap the Sunday night harness meeting. The first for the 2-year-olds looked to be two clear standouts on paper, and things got ugly for punters early on when they both got into a bit of trouble. In wheel, she paced roughly, as she's prone to do, and probably lost about 20 metres, but got going again, and it was a pretty soft win in the end, actually. And pessimistic lock wheels just after the start and lost about 40 metres and probably lost his chance. So I think the one thing we can take out of the race is that there's not a big gap between the colts and the fillies this year. The last 3 or 4 years there's been gaping gaps between the best colts and the best fillies, but obviously Ignatius aside, the rest of them, there's not too much. You'd think Ideal Bliss would be quite competitive with Feel and Dusty, etc. So, yeah, that's probably the one thing we can take from the race. It's a pretty messy affair to try and draw any form of analysis even. The second, there's no sectional times here, but it looked as if they dead set walked, which made it leader fence dominated. So you can forgive anything at the back. That be interesting to see if they do put the sectional times up. Actually, that's one thing I might just touch on whilst I'm at it. Like the if we have a look at, let's say, in wheels form, it's taking forever to load up. Sorry. Like when we go back to the Evicus final, like there's no sectional times. They'd already got 30.6, and in the form guide tonight it had last half in 30.6. Like sectionals were done for the Tas Racing sectional times. Like how hard would it be to type it in? Just smacks of laziness. Like we don't have to worry about that. But got that off my chest anyway. Yeah, but as I said, looked like they walked, so played in the hands of the fence runners. Ultimate Courage is one who actually went good from back in the field. A bit better than it probably looked on paper, so just be interesting to see if they do put the actual sectional times up, what the lead time was, etc. So the third, Truly Run All the Way, like they run 1:59 for the mile, but without the sectionals it's difficult to really analyse it. Obviously Ebony All Stars led, copped a bit of pressure, so plenty of merit in her win. Christian Jazz copped a check down the back straight, probably cost him winning, and also the two that followed the fence, Artarama and Frankie Falzoni, had no luck at all. So probably from the race, Christian Jazz is the one. It's the only one who overcame a fence bias in the race. So, and Bolton Mac wasn't too bad either. So when he draws to lead, I think he's well worth a bet. In Parmisano got things wrong early, and you think back in this grade he's going to be mighty competitive, and Total Forgive for one more laugh, just driven upside down. So if you use him early, won't finish off. So the fourth, put him back, led and paced roughly around the first turn. Actually turned into a sort of horror story early for the Law stable. Like they pessimistic lock wheels, Crowd of Stardust got beaten at short odds. Christian Jazz got checked when he probably should have won, and put him back led and galloped. So stable has been flying for recent times, so I guess they're due to the old tide turns with a bit of luck. So but they're all still racing very well. God's Sake had every conceivable chance and got out at the right time. The race to bed, Union Force ran his usual honest race. Whenever he leads, he's just boxing all day. Capture Me was the run of the race without doubt. Yeah, so it was took off. So we're going to look at the middle two splits. That second quarter, just pretty difference between winning and losing. If it had a sat, it probably wins the race. The fifth was a pretty ugly affair. Cromac Jamie led and over-raced a bit. Teresi had to do all the work outside it, so plenty of merit in its win. Couple here got checked and lock wheels, etc. Looked to be travelling okay, so you can forgive virtually all of these. Cooler Julie should have finished a lot closer, and Wassie's Chance looked to be travelling all right. At the time, even Labour Nikita should have finished a lot closer. So, yeah, tricky race that. The sixth, Roger Ramjet overcame a fence bias here as well. I think if we look here, you got leaders back, 3 back the fence, 4 back the fence. They've run second, third, fourth and fifth, and nothing else in the running line finish within 20 metres of the leader. So, huge merit in his win. The one thing a lot of people won't take note of the race was how good the drive was on another swinger. You just can't drive a leader better than that, and it got beaten. You can see he actually like gunned it out of the gate, snuck some quarters mid-race. You'd see Gareth look over his shoulder looking for Roger Ramjet. He's well aware of who his danger was and kicked at exactly the right time. And just luckily for those of us on Roger that he had the turn of foot to pick him up. You know, sometimes driving leaders is an art. It's not just as simple as point them straight ahead and go as slowly as possible. It's tempo related and when you kick for home, etc. The seventh, William Tell, he looked a class above them on paper. Probably may have taken off a wee bit early because he did a big brick wall about 100 metres off the line. Entree main dessert, when he's driven cold, he tends to always hit the line, and did again. Really frank, continues to pass through. He's tend to got better of each run, so definitely his turn's not too far away on one of these type of races. Yeah, so that's about all we can take from that. The eighth, this was a bit of a fast to watch, 29.1 the mile rate. So Crowder Cruise utilised his great gate speed, found the front, sectional times he wouldn't like with on. That's a slow lead time in a stand start, 38.7, and then they followed up with that 68.4 first half, and even only went 31.3 down the back. So I think we can put a big line through it as a form reference. Total forgive Manu the Beast. Probably picked the wrong race to drive him with cover in, as there didn't look to be any tempo in it at all on paper. So, but it's the one thing I always say: if you've got horses with gate speed, will always win more races than horses who don't have it. So, if they've got level ability, the one with gate speed will win more races than the one who doesn't have it. And in the last, Regal Major looked the best performed horse on paper. He had a tricky draw to overcome, but soon put that to bed. Did work mid-race, 28.6 down the back, getting a bit tired late, but so were the rest of them. Witchmaster didn't have the best of luck early, probably should have run second or third. Yeah, but you can't follow too many out of the $3,300 races, but actually, to be honest, there's not too many horses to follow on the card. Another swinger's gate speed lately has been a bit of a revelation, so I think sort of in this grade he's going to be mighty competitive whenever he draws the front. Blackjack Hanover, I'd think his turn will come as soon as he draws the lead in a race. Obviously Teresi was good, actually very good, death seeding in 159, but I reckon a couple of these might have got a bit closer to him, barring the interference. Capture Me went pretty good. I said, so Christian Jazz, I said I'll keep booking him every week. Ultimate Courage is probably one that a few people would have missed. Yeah, so just to Black Book 1, we'll mark Ultimate Courage down. He probably needs a $3,300 race, because you're probably going to run into a handy one in the full prize money affairs, so we'll make him the one to follow. And of the rest, there was actually one other one that I meant to point out. Sorry about that. It's, it was in the this race here. Parmesano was the one. Just if you look at his figure form now, you know, like doesn't read too pretty. So I'm always one to say that I actually didn't like him at all tonight. I thought he was being priced on what he did 12 months ago, but given where he finished after breaking early, I think he's definitely going to win a race in this grade again very shortly. So anyway, we'll wrap the meeting up there. It's a little bit ugly, a few of the races, so, and I said we can't read too much into these first few until we get some sectional times up. And as I said, I hope they actually take the effort to put them in there, because it looks slack and ordinary. So here's hoping. Anyway guys, thanks again.